you know, my book, as you heard, is in 24 languages. It's in English, it's in French, but you know, the Chinese version of it in the People's Republic has a title I would have killed for. It's called China, America's Problem. I thought, wow, that would have been an even bigger seller had I had that title in the United States. But that's not a title that the book could have had in Canada, because China challenges Canada, but China is a much bigger opportunity in Canada, I would say, than in the U.S. I've traveled quite a bit in Canada since the book came out, particularly in Western Canada, where China is a huge story on everyone's mind. As you all know, of course, the Prime Minister announced yesterday that he would be giving the 500,000 ethnic Chinese in Vancouver nation status. You have in this country an incredible resource in the nation, which really was one of the first countries to establish goodwill with the People's Republic of China. When I was reporting my book, Canadians were an indispensable part of my project. One of my translators that I used in reporting the book is a native of Montreal. His name is Noah Weinswag. And we were in a park in Hangzhou in China, which is a beautiful city on a beautiful lake, one of the places where Chinese poets write about. And we were walking around the park, and we saw a Chinese man with a sign around his neck. And it had a picture of Sun Yat-sen, the original Chinese nationalist, on his sign around his neck. And I poked Noah, and I said, Noah, is that what I think it is? You know, that's not a usual sight in China. So we went up and we said, is that a nationalist sign you have around your neck, not a communist sign? And the guy lifted it up, and on the other side of the sign was a picture of Chiang Kai-shek, which is very inflammatory in China. So we were discussing why he had this picture, and he thought, oh, there should be one China, China's one nation, and all of the people in the parks converged on us, and this very, very heated argument started. And some guy came up to Noah and he said, where are you from? And Noah said, I'm from Canada. And the man crossed his arms and he said, China's better than Canada. And Noah said, what would possess you to say a thing like that? I'm a guest in your country. And the man said, well, because the math scores of 6th graders in China are better than the math scores of 6th graders in Canada. And Noah didn't quite know what to make of it, so he said, you know, that may be true, but there is a city in Canada that has 500,000 Chinese people. Is there a city in China that has 500,000 Canadians? And the guy paused for a minute and goes, well, Beijing has a lot of Canadians. I think it has 1,000, which in China, of course, is not a very big number. But 500,000 in Canada means that your economy has within it great intermediaries for phenomenal opportunities in this new world, which is being led by a growing Chinese economy.